Hey friends, so it's been a minute, hasn't it? um, so it's been a while since I've done a video, but it's also been a while since I've done videos every day. And ultimately that's something I would like to get back to. I've just struggled to find my motivation to do it. I feel like I've kind of lost my mojo with certain things. And one of those things is yoga. I feel like I've lost my mojo. So I'm only doing like one or two poses a day. I'm not really in the middle, not really doing an active full practice right now. And so I'm just sort of trying to go with that and see where it takes me, and hopefully I'll come back to a full practice here as soon as possible because goodness knows I need it. I feel like everything that's going on right now in our country and in the world, but especially here in the US, is just, I feel like it's, everything is kind of coming to a head, rightfully so. But it's just, there's a certain amount of fatigue that comes with that. So I just want to remind everybody, as I remind myself, take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, you literally cannot take care of anyone or anything else. Okay? And a lot of what I've been doing here recently is taking care of myself. And that has looked different for me than it will look for anyone else. Because I am such a sensitive person and autistic and severe ADHD, blah, 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 empath, whatever. I have been sleeping a lot, which for me, it's like, first of all, I started taking my antidepressants again. Not that anybody, is gonna care a whole lot about that, but just, it's one of those things. Like, I just realized I was sleeping all the time past the point of it being like a sleep where I'm processing things. It was like I'm sleeping because that's all I can do. So I was like, yeah, this is not good. And I just saw myself going down this path of like not doing anything but sleeping all the time. So back on the meds I went. That said, I'm almost out of meds, so I'm hoping that my former doctor will be okay with calling in or sending a script in to a local pharmacy here, because I don't have a doctor in Austin yet. Because, when I got back from Bali, everything was already starting to close down. So, plus I wasn't expecting to be here still. But, all of my plans are changing. Everything is shifting. I have actually taken myself mostly off of social media, on purpose, because I was getting sucked in for hours a day and not actually doing anything. And, it's like that, okay, maybe not hours a day, but for a much longer time in a given day than I wanted to. And so it's just better for me if I stay off of social media. Basically, for me, that's Facebook and Instagram. So, because Twitter, I just can't even with that. So anyway, so yeah, staying off of social media, that's been recent development. Talking to people more, on the phone, video calls, that sort of thing, doing that more. But also I've been reading a lot. So, and for me, since I have not been able to focus on actually sitting down and reading a book that has primarily taken the form of audiobooks. So I have torn through a bunch of audiobooks and it's been awesome. It's been really good. So, you know, but I'm out of sync with a lot of things, and part of that is, you know, I'm missing my yoga practice, and I don't want to build or create an adversarial relationship between myself and yoga, and like trying to force myself to get on the mat. So I've been just, you know, doing a pose here, a pose there, and if I feel like that's all that's going to happen in a given day, then that's all that's going to happen in a given day. So I'm not real happy with that. I feel like I'm just sort of like dipping in and out of doing the emotional work that comes with yoga. I am actually meditating more. Go figure. It's so weird this whole time, this whole journey right now. It's just strange. It feels surreal. It feels like an alternate universe and an alternate reality. And so I think I've just been trying to find my balance in all of that and trying to figure out how to navigate that and how to move forward and how to keep moving. So, yeah. Overall, I would say that I'm actually doing pretty well. I am getting better with home haircuts. Actually, the first big cut that I did, it actually wasn't bad. But I'm getting better with trimming over my ears, which, yes, the clippers have an ear guard, but it's too short. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, it's too long, because I trim my hair shorter than what the little ear guard would do. So I'm getting better at trimming around my ears, and I've finally figured out the right length guard to use on the rest of my hair. And now that the top part is getting a little bit longer, I'm really liking that, and so I'm just kind of going with that. So yeah, it's fun. And since I have such baby fine hair, you know, I don't know, I just was fed up with my hair the way that it was. So I was like, I need something different. And so I did it. And I've been maintaining it. And, you know, the haircut, it's like every time you go to get a haircut, your hair, like the haircut changes a little bit every single time, right? Well, it's the same with a home haircut. It changes a little bit each time as I am getting better at doing it. So, anyway, at least I think I'm getting better at it. I am getting better at it. So, but now that it's like now that I know what to do, I feel much more confident in doing it. So, anyway, it's fun, you know. So yeah, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. I've been learning a lot, so which is always a good thing. But yeah, I have been struggling with being, keeping myself physically active. So I'm not really sure what that's all about. I also have had a lot of emotions just sort of coming to the surface, and kind of wanting to be heard and wanting to be expressed and experienced. So I'm just going with it, and like I said before, dipping in and out of that emotional work as I'm able to. But I also am noticing that my stamina for doing emotional work is just less. It's just lower right now than it typically would be. And I know that that's just because of what's going on in our country right now. So still keeping with social distancing. If on the rare occasion that I leave the house, I definitely do wear a mask if I'm going somewhere. If I'm just going to walk the dogs, then I don't, because it's easy to avoid people. There are no sidewalks in this neighborhood, so you have to walk in the street anyway, and people, for the most part, have been really good about if they see somebody coming, it's like either they will cross to the, and walk on the opposite side of the street, or I will. So kind of whoever sees first will do that. And if, some people just seem to be continuously oblivious, like, somebody tried to pet the dogs. I think it was just yesterday. And I was just like, pulled them and myself away. And I was just like, no, you fool. So, yeah, anyway. Also, my friend that I'm staying with, we were just talking with each other last night, actually, about how much easier this time is just having someone else in the house. Like, I would be a lot worse off if I were totally by myself, if I were totally alone. And he actually said the same, that he would not be handling it as well either. So, so we're alone together. And yes, we are just friends. Important to note. Because somebody was asking me, like, I've been asked that several times. So just throwing it out there. And there was something else. Oh, okay. The big thing is, I guess this is big. I recently, and I should really have grabbed the passage to share with you, but I recently read Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's one of those books, I've had it on my shelf since it was released, went to go see her speak about it, never read it until just recently, and I listened to the audiobook, and she is the one reading it, so I love that. It's just an amazing experience to listen to the author read their own stuff. If they're decent at reading aloud, that is, because it does take some practice to do that. Anyway, at one point in the book, she talks about how she continued working full-time until after the Bananas success of Eat, Pray, Love. She said that even though Eat, Pray, Love was her fourth published book, published through traditional publishing houses, by the way, it was her fourth book, but she was still working full-time in her regular writing job and writing her books on the side until Eat, Pray, Love. She said that if Eat, Pray, Love had not had the banana success that it had, she would still be writing books on the side and working her full-time job. And that, she said that, it's not up to us to expect our creativity to take care of us, meaning feeding us and paying our bills. It's not up to our creativity. Our creativity is not responsible for that, for us. What it should look like is we are the responsible party. We take care of our creativity. Because if we take care of our creativity and allow for space for that creativity to be nurtured and to have some freedom, then the creativity does in turn take care of us. But she said to expect your creativity to pay your bills you are murdering your creativity if you're doing that. At least until you get to a certain point where you are a household name success. So, at that point, then yeah, sure, you're going to have the financial freedom to, to not have to be working every single day. But until you get to that point, it's my job to take care of my creativity. It's my job to make sure that I am able to pay my bills and feed myself and all of that. So once I read that and I listened to that passage, it's about a 6-minute passage or so, and I listened to it repeatedly because it was just, the way she worded it was so simple, yet it was so profound. And in that moment, I decided, you know what? Yoga is actually a pretty significantly creative thing for me. And therefore, it is okay if I look for a regular old job. It is okay. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for a good old regular job. And I've gotten all the way through the interview process with one company, and I'm kind of waiting to hear back from them, but there are some other, there are actually a lot of opportunities out there right now, but the competition is so fierce because there are so many people unemployed. So I'm having trouble getting traction applying for roles where I don't know anyone who can actually, give me a recommendation. So a referral and a recommendation. So anyway, so keep digits crossed that I will hear something soon and that it's good news. And in the meantime, I'm just trying to figure out, kind of what's next for me. So, and I have some plans of what's next for me. It's just, I'm not ready to share yet because nothing is concrete. And I'm not even to a point where I'm just not ready to share, basically. So that's that. Anyway, and also I am wearing a dress today because in this pandemic, I have just been wearing t-shirts and shorts every day, and I realized today when I was getting dressed, I'm like, I am so sick and tired of t-shirt and shorts. Just tired of it. Really, really sick and tired of it. So I was like, I'm just gonna wear a dress today. Why not? Because I can wear a dress. So why not? Super comfortable. And yeah. So anyway, that's about it. Trying not to put pressure on myself to do the things that I know are good for me. Trying to be encouraging to myself without lumping out a bunch of self-loathing, in other words. So trying to be compassionate towards myself and encouraging at the same time. So it's a process, y'all. It's a process. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. I don't really think I said anything revelatory or even all that interesting. But if you stuck with me, then thank you. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you soon.